Professor Kayem, we have spoken many times on the show about your three children, but I understand that you're also spending some time with your parents who are older in this
Yeah.
very house behind you. Please talk to us a little bit about this squeeze I know a lot of people are dealing with right now, both in caring for children and in caring for parents during a pandemic. Talk to us a little bit about what that's
Well, I mean, so, just part of it is just, back to what Margaret was saying about who's infected, who's infectable, who do you need to be careful about? Obviously, people over 60, 70, my parents are in their 80s. And so they were isolated in California where they live for most of 2020. And then we saw, and none of us could go there because as you know, I'm not a big fan of flying, even though everyone tells me it's a good idea, whatever. But so they were able to come here. We got them on a flight fully protected and everything during that nice window in early September. And they're going to just hang out in New York, close to my sister and me, through the new year. But they were not seeing my kids because, as Margaret certainly knows, so teenagers seem to be sort of a weak link. I mean, so are 20-year-olds, but they're coming back to my house, and that's the challenge. My kids know what the rules are. On the other hand, one of them has soccer, another one has newspaper. The clubs are meeting, and so you just don't know what that variable is. And so it is, I think, for a lot of working mothers, the working daughters aspect of it was probably an unacknowledged part of the sort of just overwhelmingness of the last 8 or 9 months, but all good. I mean, in terms of no one's sick, which is just, I think, the most important thing. But I think when you look at these numbers about working women leaving the workforce, Margaret and I are, the first to admit we have the tremendous amount of luxuries about the kind of work we do and our husbands and everything. So we're not complaining. But when you think about the stresses and the numbers you're starting to see out of Goldman Sachs and others, 15, 16, 20% working women leaving the workforce, probably not temporarily, but permanently. Part of that, I wonder to what extent part of that stress is also just, overall family management up and down the pike that, I think we're going to feel around the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas as well, as we try to figure out ways in which you can bring people together. And it's hard because, as I said, those variables, like I know what I need to do to protect it coming to visit my parents, but I'm not sure that would be my parents with my teenagers. That's the variable. So I'm sort of this, you're sort of a bridge, you're sort of up and down, sort of, and there's only so much bandwidth one has. And I think that's what a lot of people are facing right now, but we're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in general, women have been relied on to both care for kids, care for their parents, care for the grandparents, and this epidemic is showing us we can't live like this anymore. This is too much. It's too much for people to bear in this way, and for the families and the economy to be structured in this way. It's ridiculous. And so, yes, I am enormously fortunate. I have a husband who does way more than 50% of home management. My parents have passed away, so I don't have I'm not managing that. I'm not juggling that. And certainly I have a job that allows me to work from home. But we can't go on like this. This is absurd. So I think that just needs to be acknowledged, that this is not the way that this that this can work. We don't necessarily have solutions at our fingertips, but I guess what I'd say to sort of the corporate world is, hey, you want the economy to bounce back? You better start thinking about how people take care of each other and about the obligations and responsibilities that we have to our families and our communities.